Pickering, as with each of our subjects, the starting point was always in the facts of the story told by each of them in deep trance.
What's your full name?
James Archibald Burns. I don't like Archibald.
Why don't you like Archibald?
Because it's my father's name. And I guess I never really liked the man. I don't think I ever saw him laugh. He did laugh sometimes, but not in front of me. Only when he was with his drinking mates.
Just let yourself roll again. Now you'll move to the time when you were in practice. I want you to describe to me where your practice is.
It's in Blackgowrie.
Blackgowrie is a small town in southeast Scotland. Dr. James Burns, according to Helen Pickering, had been in successful practice there, knew the town intimately, drank at a favourite tavern, and was a man of some substance and standing in the community. When we drove into Blackgowrie, Helen had no idea where we'd taken her. We hadn't discussed it, and we blindfolded her well away from the edge of the town, and without her seeing a signpost. We were to meet our witnesses later, but we took this chance to film and record Helen's reactions as we stopped at an easy landmark for anyone knowing Blackgowrie. Like most places, it seemed changed since the middle of last century, and Helen had nothing to go on but the pictures in her mind, the mental images left behind by someone else in some other time. She seemed to be in some doubt, not at once recognizing what she was seeing, not apparently able to relate her trance memories of an older Scotland to the quiet bustle of the place we'd suddenly showed her.
Come for a walk.
We'd come into the town on a road unfamiliar to Helen. The places she knew best were on the other side. It wasn't until we walked away from the bridge that she was, at once, able to orient herself.
Gives you the top of the river.
Oh my God, the square. Look up here. The rooms are on a corner of the street. The street runs up to the square. There's a grassy area in the middle of the square. And the road runs around both sides.
Now, where do you think the club was?
Over here.
Let's walk around to where you think the club was.
They drink a lot of ale. They've got a piano.
What sort of ale is it, do you know?
It's brown ale. But I prefer brandy. I drink a lot of brandy.
The pub, old enough though it is, was new to Helen, part of the pattern of change which the tread of time always brings with it.
Hotel. Or a pub. They look the same or
No,
different?
completely different.
It's all different.
Completely different.
Yeah.
Completely.
Totally different.
Yep.
All right. Well, a lot of these buildings. Where is your practice from the tavern?
Just up the road. Just 50-yard walk.
And where's your practice?
Over on that far corner, over there.
Oh, yes.
That white building, but it's completely changed. That's not as it was.
That building's different too now,
Yes,
isn't it?
yes.
All right. Can I go and have a look?
Yeah, I'd like to. It's a white building. There's a window at the front and a door to the right. And as you go inside, it's on 2 levels. There's a small room as you go in the door. And then you go up 2 steps through another door into the surgery.
What's wrong?
It's changed. the buildings came right up to the square. In fact, I think the buildings came right up to here. They might have come around, but I think they came around in a circle and came back onto this road.
All right.
According to the old records, the surgery and all the nearby buildings had either been remodeled or pulled down many years ago. There were new shop fronts, new buildings, an entire new road, and no clear way to confirm what Helen had said. Yet she seemed so sure, and some things could be checked from the old local records and minute books housed now below ground in a county library. And there we find traces and reminders indeed of James Burns, Doctor of Medicine, well known in Blagares civic affairs.
I was very respected. I could sign on behalf of people. I was the Justice of the Peace.
Expression of the loss which they had sustained through the death of the Chief Commissioner, Mr. Burns. They also agreed to express their appreciation of the services which he had rendered to the village since his residence in the locality, especially the trouble which he had taken.
And then to Aberdeen, a port for many centuries, and these days one of the world's busiest, thick with the traffic of North Sea oil and the tankers and traders of all the oceans. This is the city in which Helen claimed she had been a student of medicine as the young James Burns. With us in Aberdeen, two impartial witnesses. Anne Gordon is from the History Department in the University of Aberdeen, and Joanna Buchan is a young reporter from the city's FM broadcaster, North Sound Radio. And again, on this day, Helen's view was at first restricted to what she could see in her mind. We took her deliberately to a part of Dockland from which, if she had lived before as James Burns, she should be able to find her way when the blindfold was removed. She should be able to lead us to the place she'd spoken of and even drawn for us, the old College of Medicine, Marshall College, a little over a mile away. Some parts of Aberdeen still retain the flavour of the past, of the time of James Burns, but even those places have seen some change. And yet there was enough for Helen to feel familiarity.
I'm going to go around there.
Where?
Wait a minute. No, it's around here.
Go around there.
Around there. You can see the bay from the back of the dorms. There's always a mist on the bay. And in the early morning, when the sun's coming up, the mist is pink. And you can see the masts of the sailing boats in the harbour. 3 masters and 2 masters. You might be getting close to the Seamen's Mission. Let's have a look at this building. So familiar. They're all along here, all the way down. And the mission, Seamen's Mission, as far as I can remember, was up here on a corner.
We checked, of course, and to our witnesses' great surprise, Helen Pickering was right. An Australian woman new to Scotland had told them a thing they didn't know about their own city. The old Seamen's Mission had once stood exactly where she had said.
Don't feel pressurised into saying something if you're
Oh,
not sure what to say.
No. Well, I'm trying to remember the what I could see from the top of the college. I've done these drawings last night.
Right.
Helen's talented drawing of the old College of Medicine was done weeks before in Sydney.
This is the College of Medicine in Aberdeen.
That's the back of it or the front of it?
That's the main entrance here, and it's a big courtyard.
And what's behind there? Yeah,
Well, if you look out the top windows in an easterly direction, you can see the Port of Aberdeen.
right.
And that was where the library and lecture theatre were.
We found in Aberdeen an old and elaborate drawing of the Marshall College of Medicine as it had once been. But even when this drawing was done, it was after James Burns' time, and there had been many alterations inside and out. Aberdeen, Helen began to lead us past this building.
Fantastic old building.
There's been so much new building that it wasn't until she reached this entrance that Helen knew.
We're going here.
Yeah, the water.
This feels very familiar.
Does it?
Really? Oh, yes.
Getting strong feelings here, eh?
Well, I am, but my goodness, it's changed as well.
What has?
A lot.
What do you think this is?
Well, this was all grass before, and that tower wasn't there. But,
What do you think this was?
the College of Medicine. Can we go in and have a little look?
Yes.
This was all grass.
The atmosphere inside took hold of Helen at once, as though the changes outside had left her unprepared for the sudden surge of familiarity.
Oh, wow. Very strange feeling. I'd like to go up those stairs. Can we go up?
The echoes under that vaulted roof seemed almost to draw her upwards. Anne Gordon and Joanna Buchan and our team all caught in a feeling of remembering as our footsteps rang and echoed.
Can you remember me saying that you could look down on the entrance from the stairs?
I think I do remember you saying that.
Dear, I feel like I've seen a ghost.
Towards the top, Helen seemed to be leading us all through a curtain of memory, a curtain she was brushing aside.
There's the library. I said there was a library.
That's right.
I've got to sit down.
It's not a library, it's a museum, now. It houses many memories of the past, but then so does Helen Pickering. You see, in the days of James Burns, this was the college library.
Let's go down here. There's got to be a passage that runs the length of the building. Let's try. Wow, get a look in here.
Helen led us up and down through the warren of the old parts of the building, telling us of passages and hallways long ago blocked up or pulled away,
Look at this doorway.
always taking us towards places she told us of in advance, pointing out where changes had been made from upper corridors to old stone cellars.
That's why it's all changed. Well, let's find our way back out of here. This is all the original. Yes.
What's on the other side of the building?
Well, the building doesn't have a straight wall at the back. There, it goes out, I think, in a T. Oh, wow, look.
Well, see, you described it.
Yep, that wasn't there. That top floor, they've added that.
Right.
And it finished there, because that's all new. All of that's new. Because from that...
Correct?
Yes, that's all new. Because from up at that top windows, you could look right across.
So actually, when she drew the drawing of 2 forward to the back, going out to there, stopping there, she actually drew the correct thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
It was plain that Anne Gordon and Joanna Buchan were something more than surprised at what Helen had told them and shown them.
Well, I have been very moved indeed by Helen's feeling about the place, especially when she went into this section, you know, of the building and sort of realized where the staircases were, where the corridors were, which I didn't know about.
Knows more about it than I do, and I spent 5 years at this university.
Is that right?
Yeah, I spent 5 years running out in this building, and I had no idea there were all those works underneath. Yeah, the old cellar bit.
Right.
That old door.
David Gordon is the only man in the world who knows what the old College of Medicine was like. He's a very practical man who works in the field of oil sciences, but his passion is local history. He wrote a postgraduate paper on the history of the college and meticulously collected every existing plan and drawing, from the building's conception to its last restoration.
Pleased to meet
He
you.
is the expert, except perhaps for Helen Pickering.
Great. Well, I believe that you could help me with some history about the old College of Medicine.
Yes, I'll certainly try.
Right.
But can you remember, or think you remember, about this building in the 1830s, Helen?
Yes, 1830s.
1830, any particular date that you can remember, just 1830s?
Early 1830s.
Early 1830s.
Right.
Yes.
It was a quadrangle, and the main entrance was at the center of the quadrangle, but at the right-hand wing of the quadrangle, as you faced the main entrance, was a chapel, and that ran down on the right-hand side. The building itself was 3 stories tall, and across the top floor were the dormitories. What I'm saying now is not there now,
Yes.
but it's how it was.
Yes.
There's also a second staircase that is, as you face the main entrance, there is another staircase that is in the building that goes up. It winds back and up, back and up to the top floor, and that's a stone staircase.
And that's...
That is not there now because we went right through the building, and it's all new. They've obviously taken down the whole of the interior.
Yes.
Because there's just nothing there that resembles
I know
it.
it's been, that's part of the alterations that were made, and you give quite a good explanation of the college as it was by Archibald Simpson.
Right.
I think we could have a look at some of the original architect's drawings, which may be of some interest.
David Gordon had been most careful not to let Helen see any of his papers or plans or drawings until she'd answered the pointed questions he wanted to ask. She answered them all, and to his satisfaction, starting with the position of that long-vanished staircase.
If you look on this one here,
Yes.
that's the staircase you're looking at, takes you to the east wing, and
Right.
the other side, the west wing.
Right.
Now if we look on this plan here, that is the opening here,
Right.
which goes to the cloisters,
Right.
and then this is the staircase you're talking about.
So that's the staircase there, and that's
That's
no
right.
longer there.
That's no longer there.
Right. Well, that's
No.
why we couldn't find
That's
it.
right. Well,
Without having seen any marked floor plans, without ever having seen the original drawings, it was abundantly clear that Helen knew things about a building long ago altered from its shape in the 1830s. That she knew where an old staircase had once curved, where ancient walls had once stood. It was clear that she wasn't guessing, that she knew.
classrooms.
From this upper landing here, in the main centre here of the building, was it possible to look down into that main assembly hall?
Yes, it is, or it was, definitely.
Right, and that is a lecture theatre to the left?
That is lecture theatre, indeed.
Right,
Yes,
fine. Great.
that's right. I wonder if you could tell me if you were at a tutorial and a discussion in the museum or the library and you wanted to wash your hands,
Yes.
where would you go? Is there a ladies' room?
Men's room, please.
Men's room, rather? Yes, that's right.
From the second floor level here,
Yes.
you'd go along a small corridor, and it was on the right, this side.
Now, would it possibly, let's have a look at this. Here we are. From the main entrance, right, the museum, and on the right, up some steps to the right and off the dentist room.
There it
Yes.
is, there.
There's a closet there.
Right.
Yes, there is.
Are you satisfied that she knows more about this building than a person is likely to know who's never seen the building?
It would seem more than coincidental, quite frankly. Maybe inexplicable in my terms, you know, but certainly from what she's discussed with me before she saw these plans or even knew these plans existed.
Your paper on this, David, was never published. There's no way anybody could walk into a library and pick up a copy.
No, the only place there'll be a copy of my work is in the Open University Archives. And I don't think that Helen has been anywhere near the Open University Archives.
She'd need long arms.
That's right. That's right. Especially never having been out of Australia.
So a second experiment, and a woman from today's Australia, in Scotland for the first time, confronting the one man alive who could confirm with the evidence the things she claimed to have seen in an earlier life. Like all our subjects, Helen Pickering had no conscious knowledge of that past. It was only under hypnosis that she and they became aware of those traces and reminders of what had gone before.